All right. It looks like everybody's saying the same thing. Everybody's on the same page. November 13th is right around the corner. Yes, I know. The election is what everyone's talking about. It's what everyone is focused on, rightfully so, right? Well, the big second congressional hearing about UFOs is coming on November 13th. What's so funny is I am getting these questions more and more. I was at the dinner for a friend's birthday over the weekend, and we were talking, and throughout the conversation, what I do and things that I work on, and that stuff came up. And when the topic of UAPs and UFOs came up, I found myself in conversations of people asking certain things and the fascination of it and wondering. And I didn't feel like it was a finger point of that's the guy that believes in UFOs. I felt it more of a curiosity thing, and it made me start to think of these things of that maybe it is a matter of information. It's a matter of what people know and what they don't know. Because as I was talking to quite a few of my people, the friends that I was out at dinner with, I started talking to them about an array of different things. None of them knew about the hearing that was coming up. None of them knew about the Langley stuff, but they were all fascinated by it, and they were also disturbed that they didn't know about it when going into detail on it. So it just shows how important this hearing could be and should be with the mainstream public. It should not only give us, people who are not, I'd say, in the mainstream audience, who are pretty much invested in this topic, it should give us, all of us, that head-turning moment of, oh, well, that's what was said? We've been discussing that on this channel. We've been discussing that you can't do we know that there's these things out there, and there are certain people who could tell you. Those certain people need to talk. The first hearing, and I disagree with people who say, oh, nothing really happened, because all it was David Grush saying that he knows certain people that did this, and he has, and he could talk to some people, but he can't talk behind, unless it's behind the skiff and all that. So what did it really accomplish? I couldn't disagree more. What it did was it allowed us to get to the point that we are now, to get more of those people. It was more of a confirmation of here's this high-level person inside of the government who is speaking up about these things and acknowledging their existence, sitting next to two pilots who also witnessed things that they couldn't explain. Very important. Going to go down in history as one of the more important moments of this time that we're going through. But when you talk to Tim Burchett or anybody who's involved with this hearing, Nancy Mace, who's running it, they all say the same thing. It's got to be big moments. It can't be anything that leaves doubt. It's got to be actual people saying, yes, this is what I worked on. This is what I touched. These are the things that I have. Here's pictures, right? There's a reason I bring all this up is as I follow Mike Colangelo on Twitter. It's a great follow, by the way. A lot of great news and constant updates, and he's really locked into it all. He posted this thing that was posted on Reddit, essentially saying the same thing I'm just talking about with you guys just now, but I think it hammers down the point even more so. Only whistleblowers with firsthand knowledge about UFO crash retrieval programs or UFO detection programs should testify during the congressional hearing. Only that can move the needle. Stories about UFO encounters, they just don't matter anymore. There is no point in bringing who will say that they know somebody who saw UFOs. There is no point in bringing people who will say they encountered UFOs. It already happened. It changes nothing without physical evidence. It's a waste of time. Congressional hearings should be following up on allegations made by Grush about UFO crash retrieval programs. That's what it is all about. They have craft and bodies and secret bases, so who cares about random encounters with UFOs? We need testimony from people who have acknowledged crash retrieval programs, people who saw craft bodies or documents. The only exception should be whistleblowers testifying about direct knowledge of Immaculate Constellation UFO program, which detects UFOs, especially if they are high-level government people and if they bring them some documents. No more encounter stories. We don't need them to testify. So it looks like more and more people are saying the same thing. More and more people who are invested in this topic are saying the same thing. Now, look, I love Tim Gallaudet. I think Tim Gallaudet is great. And I think he is someone of high level that brings a lot of valid points to this. And I don't know what, though, he could say unless there's stuff that he can finally say that he hasn't been allowed to say publicly. But I don't know what he can say that he hasn't said on interviews that's any different than, well, yeah, there's certainly things going on in the ocean. There's certainly things that we have seen. There's certainly things that other people have encountered. He's going to what that Reddit user is saying, right? It's like, we know this stuff. And the counter argument to be like, yeah, but a lot of the public doesn't. For a hearing, doesn't matter. It needs to move the needle. It needs to be, stop what you're doing right now. Did you see that they actually had a hearing about UFOs? And apparently there was someone who came forward who worked on them, and that's it. And if you listen to what Jeremy Corbell has been saying, Jeremy Corbell has been talking about this is going to change the face of the world, this hearing. That this is it. This is next level stuff. There's a picture of him. Someone did like fan art that he retweeted of him dressed as kind of Willy Wonka, saying it's like kind of how the day that it changed, November 13th or whatever. He's convinced. He's definitely has inside tracks on some stuff, but what we've been hearing that this hearing will be about is the Immaculate Constellation program and the reverse engineering program, leading up from the stuff that Lou Elizondo talked about, leading up from the Michael Schellenberger argument about the program itself. There is a whistleblower that spoke to him about this program. Is that same whistleblower going to appear in the James Fox documentary? Who's picking up that documentary? Is the hearing going to happen first? This particular person talks at the hearing, then the documentary comes out, then a Netflix or whoever else picks it up. Let's say it's Amazon, let's say it's Netflix, whoever picks it up. Then one to the next. It's kind of domino effect, if you will. But that has to be one of these moments that is just groundbreaking on the 13th. And as I said, I'm going to be here. And you, hopefully, if you've been following me, you will trust that I'm going to watch this thing going, okay, that was a significant piece of evidence that has never been talked about before. Let's dive into it. What does it mean? This is the holy shit moment we've been looking for. Or do you should believe that if it's a big kind of, we've heard this already. We've done this already. What did this do? What did all this buildup do? And nobody's talking about it still in the media because it's just somebody saying, yeah, there's things in the sky and another pilot saw it. And then we think that they're very credible, but that's what they saw. We don't have any footage of it. We don't have anything else, but that's it. That's a bullshit hearing if that's what happens. They know that. They know that. You listen to every single person involved in this. They know that. They're also listening to everything else that's being said. You can't run this hearing without knowing that information. It seems like that's what they're going to do. It seems like that's what's going to be brought out. The other question is, with the witnesses, have the powers that be that want to stop this hearing, have they gotten to those witnesses? Have they talked to those witnesses and said, we'll put you in jail if you talk about that stuff. Don't you do it. Did they find out who the person was? Or are they going to find out like a special guest going, who was it? We don't know who it is. Because they could be panicking that way. If they're like trying to figure out who the whistleblower is, they have no idea. And it's a person kind of walking around in their halls, and their paranoia has got to be pretty deep. If they don't know who the witness is and they're looking around, they're going, is it him? Is it her? Is it who? Is it? It's got to be chaos if they don't know. Unless they do know and that person's just protected now. I don't know. But like I said, we are 9 days away. 9 days? 9 days away, it looks like. November 13th or 16th. I can't remember now. See, I'm all over the place. But the hearing needs to be significant. And I'm sure you all agree. Put your comments in there. Tell me what you think. Got to hear your thoughts. Hope you're having a great Monday thus far. We're going to be here all week talking about this stuff leading up. So put your comments in there. Put your thoughts in there. Go and make sure you subscribe if you haven't done that already. You want to help out the show? Well, I got a way you can help out the show. we have a great sponsor today, Mint Mobile. You guys know Mint Mobile. I've talked about Mint Mobile. Sign up to Mint Mobile today. Click on that link. Browse around. It helps out the show tremendously. So check it out. We'll be back here tomorrow. You know, with big wireless providers, what you see is never what you get. Somewhere between the store and your first month's bill, the price you thought you were paying magically skyrockets. With Mint Mobile, you'll never have to worry about gotchas ever again. When Mint Mobile says $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan, they mean it. So I had been using the regular providers for a bit, and I'm not going to lie, you hear about Mint Mobile all the time. I was like, how true is this? True. Very true. It is straight up. They tell you the truth with how this thing works. You got to say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. You use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan, just $15 a month, you got to go to mintmobile.com/DTE. That's mintmobile.com/DTE. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/DTE. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower, above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details.